gosh, Jeremy started and stopped this show 4 times already.
I don't give a fuck.
I do.
You do.
I got things to do.
Let's get going then, man. Play our intro. Oh, wait. We don't have our intro. You don't have a computer that runs worth of shit anymore. And neither do I.
Oh, that one's pretty good.
Hey, I vacuumed off
I noticed. It looks
I cleaned
great.
my shit off.
Yeah, finally you
I
got
did
all
what I
the...
was told.
You took all the cat dander out
All
of the
the
vents.
cat
Oh, my
dander.
gosh.
All the cat dander.
I was fully expecting that thing to sound like a Honda Civic with the tuner muffler on there. Like running, just clogged up full of...
Just a coffee can.
Yeah, just full of...
Exhaust noise.
Yeah.
So it's running. We are live. I'm going to turn up
We
this
are
game just a little bit. Welcome to the GOFO podcast, the Geek Out Freak Out podcast.
That's who we are.
We're a life podcast. We're a sex life podcast where Matt and I get together and we talk about our sex lives together.
The ones that we have together.
Where we jerk each other off, basically. That's what this is about. How are you, sir?
Good show.
It's a great fucking show.
That would get some ratings.
It would get some wood.
Mm-hmm.
It would get ratings.
It
would. WOOD.
It would get some ratings.
I don't know why. Well, I know why, but I automatically was thinking Uncle Joey when we said wood.
Oh,
Remember
yeah.
all of his what was the name of his chipmunks?
Somebody, first of all,
It was
a beaver.
It was a beaver. Yeah, that's what it was.
So get it straight. Check that out. We're running at 30 frames per second, and you're only utilizing like 14% of the CPU. Why do you want to block?
Why would I want to block myself?
But yeah, so
how are you, sir?
I'm doing good. I'm doing pretty nice.
You know, I was going to
Nice
open
and
this show
fantastic.
as Macho Man, and then I completely forgot.
You forgot.
Yeah. We need to get some stuff for Macho Man to do.
Yeah, we said movie reviews.
Movie reviews, or what if we had him quoting movie lines? Let's get
good.
requests. You guys send in your favorite quotes from movies, and we'll have Macho Man read them.
Oh yeah, you mean like monologues, like
like a monologue,
like Travis Bickle from Taxi Driver, but in Macho Man's voice.
Oh, you imagine the ABCs, the Always Be Closing from Glenn Ross. Yeah, coffee's for closers. Yeah, you either fuck or walk. Yeah. You never watched Glenn Ross? You never seen
No.
Everyone has at least seen the Alec Baldwin scene.
What are we talking about?
Oh God, yeah, you're gonna have to watch this before you leave this house. I'm gonna make sure you watch this. This is the best fucking sales speech ever.
Is this from that Leonardo DiCaprio movie?
I don't think Leonardo DiCaprio was in that movie.
What
do you keep
movie
putting
are
the
we
number
talking
4 up?
about?
Are you throwing the 4?
That was 5.
5 what?
How many F words you've said already?
Why are we counting?
Because I'm counting them.
Why?
Because I'm going to do a contest later.
Are you not? Are
doing
you
a
not
contest.
cursing now?
I'm doing a
not cursing.
contest.
From now on,
It's great.
I'm not.
No. It's fun. I was going to run a contest.
Why?
Because it was going to be fun.
Now I'm self-conscious.
No, don't be.
I'm self-conscious
I
about
ruined it.
Yeah, no, you
ruined
ruined
it.
the contest.
Well, eventually I was going to run out of fingers.
Does this count?
Those count.
Those count? Yeah.
No.
What do you want to get up to? You want me to run the gambit right now?
I really don't know what you're talking about.
It's a sales movie. It's about, I think it's, because I haven't seen the whole thing in a long time. It's about home sales, but this company is getting put out, and they bring in a sales consultant, and it's Alec Baldwin.
Okay.
And there's this famous scene where he's just running them through the mud, and he's one of the guys is trying to get coffee, and he's like, "You put that coffee down. Coffee's for closers," and he won't let him even get coffee. And there's he's got this briefcase. He's like, "You know what it takes to sell real estate? Brass balls." And he pulls out 2 big brass balls on a string. It's good.
When did this movie come out?
Old. It is super old.
80s, 90s?
Probably longer than that.
Did it predate Hunt for Red October?
Why? Is that when you started watching movies?
That's when Alec Baldwin became an actor for me. It was when he played Jack Ryan.
Oh, God, he was Jack Ryan.
Yeah. Hey, that was a good movie.
1992.
Oh, okay. I think that actually was before Hunt for Red October.
You want me to look up the date for
Hunt for Red October? I bet it was 93. I wouldn't be surprised if it was 91, actually. I feel like my dad watched that movie. I feel like I watched that.
1990.
Wow.
Suck one,
so
Matt.
They should have known that. They
Yep.
should have. But that's still, I was only, 7 years old? No, 10, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, 92.
10. Oh, my God.
10.
So I guess I didn't cancel Loot Crate out in time.
Oh, yeah?
And I got an amazing shirt reference to Office Space.
Oh, my gosh.
It's a busted up printer.
Uh-huh.
and then it's the bats going cross. So the printer is made to look like almost like a skull, like but in pieces, and the bats are crossed. And then it just says PC Love Letter on it.
Oh, my God.
This is an amazing shirt.
I need that shirt, especially for you.
If I wasn't, I know. And how many times have I been complaining about printers?
Oh, I know.
Like, just constantly. And so
you're the reason why I throw printers away.
Oh, God. Yeah, I'm just like, if it breaks, just throw it away.
There was an old one in our garage, and we were cleaning out our garage last week. And my wife's like, "You don't want to do anything with this?" I was like, "Yeah, I want to beat the shit out of it."
You should have.
That's about it.
You should have smashed it. I think, it's just been insane. And I mean, thankfully now at my work, like we're getting rid of all the older printers.
Nice.
And we're replacing them with the exact same model. So I'm just like,
Nice.
if it has the same problem, it's going to be the same problem everywhere.
Just break them all.
Just break them all. Yeah. So today I got rid of like 5 printers. It was a good day.
It was a good day. Was that no, that song wasn't in there.
No, that was that.
There was a lot of Scarface.
It's hard to be, yeah.
Damn, it feels good to be a gangster. I have that soundtrack on my phone, too.
Yeah.
I love the Office Space
Michael
soundtrack.
Bolton.
Yes. You know, for my money,
that's when
he sings "When a Man Loves a Woman."
That was a good. You introduced me to that movie.
I love that fucking
I think we watched that movie when...
Well, Lumberg fucked her, yeah.
Yeah. When that movie came out on DVD, I think you were the first one to get it. Like, you got it right away, and then we just like watched it.
It was Mike Judge. I was like, oh, is it guy who did Beavis?
Yeah, that's why, because it was Judge. So you went and got it, and we just all went to your house and watched. I think we...
Another great Mike Judge movie, Idiocracy.
Oh, that is a good movie. I do like that one a lot.
Idiocracy is slowly becoming a documentary.
A reality?
Yeah.
It's sad.
Love Idiocracy, though. Anytime someone brings up electrolytes, my wife immediately, she's like, well, that's what plants need. Plants need electrolytes.
She's a keeper.
Yep. No, I know that.
So,
oh, no. And on top of that, what even makes that better is, like, I know she watched wrestling.
Yeah.
Like, she watched a lot of wrestling when she was young with her dad.
Yeah, because Dusty Rhodes held her.
Yes, exactly. Dusty Rhodes held her when she was a baby. But I was watching, so I listened to the newest episode of 83 Weeks, Eric Bischoff and Conrad Thompson's podcast. And it was, no. It was last week's episode I listened to. I'm up to date.
One of them.
But I listened to the last episode of Monday Nitro.
Yeah.
And they were talking about the last Nitro. So I came home yesterday.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I want to watch Nitro. So I pulled up that episode.
The last one.
And I hear in the background, if I could be serious for a minute. And my wife whips around. She goes, is that Lance Storm? I'm like, oh. Whoa. Like, I get The Rock. I get the Big Show. Like, I get the big names.
So
but you caught on to Lance Storm?
So you guys are renewing your vows this weekend, right?
Yeah, for sure. With Lance Storm.
Lance Storm.
I'm going to ask, you know where I feel slighted? And I would have done this. I would have put a fucking Indiegogo or whatever fundraiser I could come up with for this if I'd have known he did this. But did you know Howard Finkel does weddings?
Yeah.
I would have had Howard Finkel at my wedding.
And
when they're announced, husband and wife, he goes, and no.
Oh, that's great.
Like, yeah, I need that in my life. We're going to get divorced and remarried just so I can have the
Howard Finkel, if you guys aren't aware, is like 1980s, 1990s, early 90s.
Yeah.
Just WWF through and through. He was the man. He was a ring announcer
for the longest time.
And I hear he's actually having some health issues going on.
That sucks, man.
Yeah, I'd hate to lose him, but man, like Howard Finkel's the man.
Is a legend,
the Fink is a legend. Yeah,
he is a legend.
Yeah, I mean, you go back and you watch, I think, most of those old like WrestleManias, and he was there, especially for all the pay-per-views.
Absolutely. Remember when CM Punk brought him back to introduce
CM Punk brought him back, and he just like reveled in like the people chanting for Fink, and he just hear Punk like, "Come on,
just hurry up, let's get it done."
And then he like finally walks out when he gets introduced, and he just kind of points to his watch like, "You took your time there, buddy."
There's a great story with Luke Gallows. Talking about when he first got the call up.
He does a good.
He does a great one. He
does a good Finkel.
But he's talking about when he got the call up, and it's Howard Finkel calls him. And he's like, and you'll be wrestling Kane.
Was this when Luke Gallows was the fake Kane?
Yeah, no. I think it was before he was the fake.
Was a fake
Maybe he
King,
was.
Right?
He was the fake King, yeah. If you guys haven't caught on, this is another wrestling podcast. Back to back. Baby.
Don't worry, you're still gonna like this.
We're still gonna talk about some geeky stuff. We'll go into our week, like or our 2 weeks normally, like we normally do. What we've been up to, what we're looking forward to. But we've got a wrestling topic. This week is a big show. This week is All In. We'll get into it. What All In is a little bit later.
That's not the phrase. That's the name of the show.
We're not saying All In. You know what you're saying. No,
Hunt for Red October.
Yeah, Hunt for Red October. That's also, that could be a porn name somehow, I'm sure. The Cunt for Red October. I just watched Zack and Miri in a hotel room the other night, so I've got all these like.
Hey, I'm glad you made it back.
Yeah, no, that wasn't even the same day. Yeah, I got my car stuck.
That was a little scary.
Yeah, it was more frustrating.
Where were you at?
Scary. I was in Rio Doso. But I was.
So about 70 miles.
I was out in the middle of nowhere though. I was up on a hill. Luckily, I had cell phone service.
You're the second person that I know that got stuck in Rio Doso.
I called my damn uncle. My uncle lives up there.
Yeah.
Fucking dude shows up drunk. Like, I don't know what you're gonna do to help me. It was all my plan.
There's a board.
Well, what happened is
I got some kitty litter.
The board was my idea. The board is what saved me.
Yeah.
What happened is there was a rut in this dirt road,
yeah.
and it sunk down, and I got my front wheels stuck in it and couldn't get them back out.
You need a truck.
And, yeah, I do. And that's my wife and I had the same conversation.
Yeah.
She's like, "We need to get you a little truck, like a Frontier or Tacoma or something."
My dad has a little Tacoma, and they're pretty nice.
Your mom had a 4Runner for the longest
She has,
time.
And she has a newer one.
Does she?
Yeah.
I loved that 4Runner. I like that old body style a lot.
I would kill, literally, just kidding, for an old like 90s 4Runner.
I want in
those
80s Tacoma the same Marty had in Back to the Future.
Oh, that is a pretty awesome truck. That truck is timeless. Yeah.
Well, we got one. When I was
that's
working
interesting.
At Toyota.
It's timeless.
Timeless. Hey, yo.
Back to the Future.
We got one when we were working at Toyota. And I took it in trade.
Yeah.
And I was interested in buying it. And our boss, the owner of the company, bought it before anyone else could. And he tricked it out and everything. And they were leveling the dirt behind the dealership, so there was a bunch of hills where they were pushing the dirt around. He went driving it out there like a jackass, and we're standing out on the service drive, and he's coming back, and he's like, clunk, 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 clunk.
No.
The rear differential is disconnected.
Oh,
and he's
great. He jacked it all up already.
Like, I hate you, man. I would have painted it black. It was maroon. I would have painted it black just so it looked like Marty's. Put those big-ass yellow KC lights on the top. But no, anyways, I got the front two tires stuck in the rut. And it wasn't bottomed out, but goddamn, it was
close. I saw it. Yeah. Saw the picture.
So I tried it first. I put my floor mats underneath. I was like, let's see if I can get some traction from my floor mats. That didn't work. So my uncle shows up, and all he did was help move my plan forward.
He just goes.
Like, he didn't even try to like.
Did he show up and first thing he said is like, "Looks like you're stuck."
Oh shit, man!
Is this your mom's brother?
Yes, my redneck one. You've met him. But I ended up jacking it up, putting a board underneath like a cross. I built a bridge with. Dude, there was like an abandoned trailer like about quarter of a mile away.
Oh man!
So I walked back to that abandoned trailer, and there was like busted down pallets. So I grabbed all the boards that didn't have nails in them and took it back, and I built this little bridge, and then shoved a bunch of big rocks underneath for support, and just backed that son of a bitch straight up, and that was great. I was out.
Nice,
but. I was exhausted.
I bet.
It was not just like the physical effort, but my anxiety spiked.
Oh, yeah.
And by the time, like normally when my anxiety hits that bad and I come down from it, I am worn the F out.
Can people hear us? This light is blinking on the microphone.
Was it bumped?
No, it doesn't say anything. I don't know. Sorry. I didn't mean to throw us
Shouldn't
off.
be blinking.
It shows us picking up, so.
You know what I bet we're picking up? I bet we're picking up.
Are we picking up on the
from
webcam?
The webcam, yeah.
Oh, well.
Is that one solid now?
Now it's solid.
I can try to switch over while we're working. Keep talking.
But
tell me about your week.
But no, it says desktop audio, so I think we're okay. I don't know. No, I just I'm just going through. No, that's on the Yeti. You're good. Just work. I'm glad it's Friday.
Yes.
I'm glad it's. Oh, we're good. That sounds like we're echoing.
It's working now.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, cool.
But yeah, I just work and. Just super exciting stuff.
What nerdy has been going on? What geeky stuff?
What
have you been doing?
I bought a solid state hard drive for $30 on Amazon. I was pretty excited about that. Just because, and it's like 120 gig. And so I'm looking forward to building a little makeshift desktop that I'm going to just mess around with.
Nice.
Just to see what I can play with. I'm trying to build like a form factor water build system.
Nice.
So I'm just going through the whole aspects of planning it out right now.
That's super cool.
So
you should live stream.
It's gonna be like the size. We
touched Converse.
Yeah, Chuck to Chuck. Are you wearing Chucks?
I am.
Oh, cool.
Well, they're like a newer style, but
it's still the same. It's like this. It's like half the. You see how big your radiator fans are there? So you have. I think they're like are those 240? I think.
I don't know.
I can't remember.
I don't know. Shit.
I'm the one that bought them. I can't remember.
You're the fucking mad
anyway,
scientist.
that's like
I said more F words.
I'm doing like so instead of like the two that are stacked right there that you have, mine is just like the height's gonna be the height of one of them.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm trying to like I don't know why, but I'm fascinated by like small builds.
Like a small build?
Yeah.
That's what you wanted to do at first with mine.
Yeah, the idea was to do a cube.
Yeah.
And then
nothing was compatible with
nothing was compatible. Like nothing. But now they have some newer like motherboards that are coming out that are form factor. You can only fit, they're only going to fit I can't fit like a high-end graphics card on it. It's just going to be like a mid-range, which is fine now because all of them dropped in price.
Right.
Because the new
models came out.
The 2040s.
The 2080s and stuff.
Yeah, those are going to be insane.
They were talking about them on the Giant
You
Bombcast.
still can't stream like 4K and 60 frames still.
And they said a lot of it.
It's all held back by the motherboard. A lot
with the pricing and stuff. The whole Bitcoin mining and cryptocurrency mining has kind of dropped off.
Oh, yeah, thankfully.
And they said it's funny because NVIDIA posted a loss on their annual revenue, but they made a ton of money. They said the only reason they posted a loss or they fell shy of their projections. Mm-hmm. And it was because once all of that kicked up, they thought, well shit, if this is what's happening, this is what our projections are going to be. And then all of that dropped off sooner. So they were nowhere near their quarterly projections.
Yeah, first prices weren't supposed to drop until I think mid-fall. And then that summer, like there was like a 2-week gap there where I was telling you, like, hey, they're going to drop prices pretty soon. So, I mean, thankfully they did because, gosh, like they were getting crazy. Prices were getting insane.
Yeah, they were like $600-$700 now, and then they were for like low end.
Yeah, for low end. Like the one that you got there were some for like $400.
I know.
Which is insane.
And we picked this one up like, what, $200, I think? $199?
I think it was like $180. Yeah.
Which wasn't bad at all.
Yeah.
Because they were rolling new stuff out. Yeah. And that's what I normally do with my televisions. I wait until I buy a new TV. I'm pushing now. We're looking at we've got the 4K in here, and my wife saw a 4K in the store, and now she wants a 4K for the living room. So we've been waiting for Sam's Club to pop one up. Well,
it runs good because you got a Ryzen 3 in there.
Yeah.
And that has that Vega graphics on there, so it's super.
I'm going to start using it a lot more to play games. I'm going to play some Sims on there. And I kicked around.
the Sims, man.
Dude, you and I kicked around an idea a while back, and I think I'm going to go ahead and put it into
Are we going to do the wrestling?
The wrestling in the Sims? Yeah. Like create a bunch of wrestlers and have them live in a house together.
And you got to get like the attributes, right? Like, if you have Macho in there, he has to be like a hothead.
Hothead, yeah, for sure.
And then like Ric Flair or Dusty,
and have
like
him super narcissistic
and flamboyant.
Yes. Do we do hollowed out shell of Lex Luger or actual
the narcissist?
Lex Luger. That's what you said, narcissistic. I think we should do that. It was a lot of fun. We should do that.
That's a good idea. Wasn't there like a Sasha
great.
Banks skin or something like that for a while?
I feel what we were gonna do?
They were hyping that game, and she was like touted as a character.
And what I kind of want to do too,
build.
And I'll create you and I on there. I want to run through XCOM 2 because it's got permadeath with your characters.
Yeah,
and then create you and I, and then we can end up
dying.
As I replaced people, I wanted to replace with wrestlers because you can kind of create the way your guys look.
Oh, cool.
And just name my guys after pro wrestlers and then add them in there and see how long they live.
Yeah.
And see how many, like that game. I played the first one a lot. I played it for an Extra Life stream.
Oh yeah.
Which we need to get on. Like
we need to start that up now, right? It's like the beginning of.
It's got to be November, right? It's normally right at the beginning of November.
Yeah.
Let's look that up while we're talking.
Yeah.
I thought about that today. So tomorrow I'm going to get, or maybe even tonight, I'll get everything set up for an Extra Life stream. For just the team at least. Yeah. And if anybody, like I'm sure we've got a couple people that would want to join.
Oh, we probably need to leave our team.
Yeah, because we're part of Proven Gamer team, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we're going to leave that team. So
we're starting our own.
What Extra Life is.
Extra Life is in a super amazing video game marathon that benefits all the Children's Miracle Networks across the entire country. Me and Jeremy every year play for UNM Children's Hospital, based out of in Albuquerque, New Mexico. All the money that we raise goes directly
November
towards
3rd.
And the idea is it's just more so that, like, we try to get as much as we can going into it. I just love that you keep going back to that tab and it's Hunt for Red October. And but yeah, it's always really fun, and it's not just video games as well. I mean, it is like the main focus, but you can do board games, you can do card games, anything like that, to where you're just being involved. And now it's even more involved because of Extra Life is I think sponsored by Twitch. So like they get, like, when it comes to Extra Life Day, Twitch does like their best effort to give all the Extra Life live streams out and about, as long as you tag them. Like the 2 years that I run, I'm not even a big Twitch streamer, but like I always had my biggest crowds was during Extra Life because Extra Life made sure I had more eyes on that because it knew what I was doing, was trying to benefit. And always, like, it's always beneficial when we can throw our links on our streams, and which they're great about. So and that's pretty awesome because you're going to be able to like, I think, incorporate it right into your capture card.
Yep.
Like they make a thing on there where you can like input your user tag, so that your information shows up on your stream and people can just donate it right on your stream. And it shows
who donated and stuff like that. There. Yep. So we're going to work with that for sure. We'll have that going.
It's always so much fun. I highly enjoy doing it. I'm looking forward to this Jurassic Park update that's coming up.
Yeah, talk about that.
Because not only are the dinosaurs, this is me being super nerdy about video games and dinosaurs, two of my favorite things. But so on top of like the dinosaurs are getting rescaled, so they're going to be more like true to their life size, and they're getting like skin updates, and then the games itself is getting extra missions, which is like, I think I told you, I think it's like 25%.
Yeah, 25%
from what I read, and then they're making sure that a lot of the missions that you do don't get repeated.
Now, is this DLC or is it?
No. It's an update. It's a free update.
Sweet.
So yeah, anybody who has the games are going to be able to get it.
Awesome.
And then there's going to be a lot more sandbox elements to the game for all the islands, and then you could turn off like how fast your dinosaurs die off. So the age scales, like I think my biggest gripe was like my dinosaur was probably only alive for maybe like 4 hours, and then I had to like make a new one.
Dude, I had so many dinosaurs that were dying so rapid.
Well, like so
my wife was watching me. She's like, "What the fuck?
Why are your dinosaurs dying?"
She's like, "You were terrible at this."
Like all those,
they're
the small herbivores. Yeah, the small herbivores. Like
they're
they
fodder.
only live, like they maybe live for like I think 2 hours tops game time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they don't last very long, and you're always stuck like brewing up Gallimimuses off the yin yang. So you're gonna be able to like
Yin Yang is my favorite metal band.
There we go. The Bully Ray, you're talking about Bully Ray about metal bands, right? So maybe he can ask him if he's heard about them.
I gave him some pretty solid recommendations for bands. I thought he would.
So yeah, I mean that to me, I'm looking forward to that kind of stuff. So yeah, there's a big Jurassic World Evolution update coming, so I'm pretty excited about that. And I'm excited about 2K19. They just released all their most of the roster updates. That was cool.
Yeah, Undisputed Era, baby.
Yeah, so that's gonna be a lot of fun. This game, I mean, I was telling myself I wasn't gonna get it day one, but I think I'm gonna get it day one because I want to play with Rey Mysterio.
Are you gonna get it early?
Well, if I pre-order it, it's going to come in early.
You get it early,
I do digital.
Is it just the pre-order, or is it like the digital deluxe pre-order? You get it early.
Do you even get the physical copy early if you order it?
No.
So you have to get
that one. I'll do digital. I'm going to do Spider-Man physical.
Are you going to get on the Xbox?
What?
The WWE?
No.
Wait, you on PS4?
So here's my question.
You were talking about that before.
Here's my question. If I don't have PS Plus, am I still able to get downloads from the?
You turned off your PS Plus?
Yeah, I don't use it.
You can still do the PlayStation Store. Yeah,
but that's the thing. Can I still download created wrestlers? You can still
download created wrestlers from the community. Yeah, because I think I did that on the first game on 2K15.
I might up it and redo it again if there's a sale, but I don't play anything multiplayer on PlayStation Plus.
The last thing I did was, on
PlayStation, I should say.
I paid for a year because it was on sale.
Mm-hmm.
I think like a year, like usually it's 80 now. Mm-hmm. And I think I paid 50.
And see, I already pay for monthly for Xbox Live, which I'm waiting for a sale so I can get a bunch at once.
Yeah.
And for Xbox Game Pass, which is like 1,000 or 100 games at a time. It's like Netflix, but with video games.
Yeah. So tell me about that. I heard vaguely about it. I didn't get to read about it.
So it's exactly like I just kind of described it. It's like Netflix, but for video games. But it's not like the PlayStation one that they ran with PlayStation Now, where they streamed the game. You download it. And you can download that game, and they'll rotate them a lot of times, but there's some that are like mainstays that stay on there. The cool thing about it is, yes, you get like over 100 games for like $9 a month.
Yeah.
But every Xbox or Microsoft first-party game, day one is free on Game Pass. So every Halo, every Forza, Sea of Thieves, State of Decay, like every one of those games, it's a first-party Microsoft.
Games.
See which ones? Forza and Halo?
Halo. Yeah.
Sea of Thieves is amazing.
Yeah.
Sea of Thieves
is that a Pirates game?
It's a Pirates game. And you can play in groups of 4. And there's not a lot of there's a lot more content now because they've had add-ons. But it's there's not a lot of structure. There's not missions to go on. Like there's missions, but they're not like, hey, sail here, look for this guy, make sure you kill this certain person. And there's not a story to it. You create your own story essentially, by the way, just playing with your friends. So you'll take missions and some will be like, go get this treasure. Go find this. Here's a treasure map. Yeah. Go find this treasure. And it's what you expect. It's an island. It doesn't give you the name of the island. So you have to go look at your map on your boat, find the island that matches it, plot your course, and then once you get there, you'll see, like, some of them will be riddles. It'll tell you how many paces from this spot and stuff like that. But it's just sailing the seas, and it's an MMO. Sailing so you're playing, and if you run into someone else, now there's no quality of weapons. So no one weapon is stronger than the other, so it's an even balance with everyone you fight against. But you could be on just a little 2-man ship.
Dinghy.
And stop playing with your dinghy. And a galleon can come out of nowhere with 4 people on it and take you out. Anything you've gathered, if you haven't cashed it in yet, they take you out, they can take all of your stuff and go cash it in for themselves.
That's cool.
So it's exactly what you would expect out of Pirate. And State of Decay it's kind of like a suffer sim. It's a zombie outbreak.
I was going to say.
And you get
that sounds like post-apocalyptic or something.
You have to start your colony, and people have certain skills and stuff like that.
Is it like build your own fortress?
You don't necessarily it's not like Minecraft or Fortnite in a way that you build, but you build add-ons. Like you can craft like a medical center, craft like a generator, stuff like that.
All right.
And I got into it and I played a lot. I might now though. They just announced DayZ is coming to early access for Xbox.
Oh, okay.
And I might check that out. I really wanted to play it. And I never had a PC to play it on. And it's funny because now I have a PC to play it on, and it's coming to 1X. So I'm like, I might just get it on the 1X then. But they're really good. And they just announced this week one game that I played it on stream a lot. And the biggest problem with this game was no one was playing it, was Onrush. And Onrush is a really great game. It's a car combat style kind of game. There's no guns or anything like that. You're trying to ram into each other and knock them off the road. Yeah. And you want to get like the most kills and stuff. It plays a little bit like a racing game meets Overwatch kind of. Because each car is a class. They have certain bonuses and stuff like that in the car. But that's coming free for Xbox Live for Gamer Pass this week or this month. Yeah. Actually this week, starting Saturday. That's awesome. So and it's just a game that it was $60. It shouldn't have been $60. It probably should have been sold at $30 because there's not a lot of content and no one bought into it. And it's such a fun game, but there's just not
kind of like
enough people playing it. So now that it's going for free, I'm excited because I feel like the user base is going to go up now. What were you going to say?
I'm trying to figure out how to pause the stream. I'm just going to turn it down. We're really whited out. So when does Red Dead come out?
October, I believe. Towards the end of October. They just pushed back Battlefield. Did you see that?
Yeah.
November 20th.
That's fine.
That's fine for me. That gives me more time.
That gives me time to build up money that I'm going to need because, I can't afford.
Because I'm pushing to get Spider-Man next week. I really want to play Spider-Man on the PS4. And that's probably my only September game. But in October, my wife is obsessed with Soul Calibur. She absolutely loves the Soul Calibur games.
She's a keeper.
That in fact, when we first got together, I think Soul Calibur 3 or 4 had just came out, and we used to hang out and play Soul Calibur all the time.
Oh, you guys did you? Oh.
Hang out with my wing out and play some stuff. Well, hold on, wait, no.
Was it was it like strip Soul Calibur?
Right, each last October 26th is Red Dead Redemption.
How come I can't paste the Twitch link?
I don't know.
That's stupid. I hit copy and it doesn't paste it. That is really annoying.
There should be a share button though.
Yeah, I'm clicking the share.
And it share out to Twitter.
I want to copy. I'm going to do it the stupid
and then you go try to paste and see what it does.
It just says, let's check out Let's Play Dead Cells.
Yeah, it wouldn't bring me... It wouldn't bring me the thing to change.
I wonder if it's going to let me paste it in the chat. We have a couple of viewers. That's pretty cool.
We act like we're learning what the fuck we're doing. Like we've never done this with the star marks before. Are you still counting my F-bombs?
I lost count.
Yeah, that was my goal. To make sure you lost count.
But yeah.
That was my goal.
I can, it won't let me paste it. Maybe it's just my phone being dumb. Which Apple just announced today, I think. Was it today or yesterday? I think it was today that the keynote is on the 12th.
Good.
So we'll be hearing September 12th. So we'll be getting new people that are fans of iPhones or Apple devices should be getting announcements for new iPhones. Supposedly three different models and maybe a new Apple Watch and maybe the updated iPads Pros. I'm excited about that. There's a moth in here. Oh my god!
It's gonna ruin the show.
Oh no, there's a moth. There's always a bug.
I know.
It's horrible. There's so many freaking mosquitoes out. It's insane.
Oh my god, grasshoppers were bad over the last.
I'll take grasshoppers over mosquitoes any day. Yeah. I'll take a grasshopper flying into my face as I walk into the grocery store.
I fixed it. Does that happen to you?
Yes.
Recently?
Don't ever go to the grocery store. Well, here, I mean, I don't know about everywhere, but like, so, like, I went to the Albertsons down the street, grocery store. Sorry, they don't sponsor us. And,
the market.
The market.
Oh, I went to the marketplace.
I went to the old Joe Luna store.
Ah,
do you remember the sign up there? Oh, you know, no. It used to be called Lawrence Brothers.
Yeah,
and it had so it had the brothers, but they were always like cartoony characters, and it was called one of them was Joe because one of them was basically like a Joe Luna character with glasses, and Joe Luna, one of our good friends. So I'd always say, now I talk to Joe, and I'll be like, hey, I'm going to your store right now, so I'm just going to pick up some bread. Store. That's and funny. So I know exactly what. So that's the one I'm going to, and then that's when I go to, and there's always like the closest parking lot light to the store is like the worst one. Like they just, I guess it's the combination of like the store light and that main light, and they're just like flying. They're just flying out there, and you walk right by that light, and you're just getting pelted by grasshoppers. Which, I mean, yeah.
Dude, I had one on the highway the other day that jumped up and hit my roof, and it sounded like someone had thrown a rock at it. And it was just a giant-ass grasshopper. That's crazy. Like, holy crap.
I saw a Roadrunner get pelted on the highway.
No shit.
Yeah. Apparently he's not that fast. I wonder if Wile E. Coyote was driving.
He was driving.
Yeah.
Absolutely, he was driving.
Yeah, I just felt so bad. I was like, oh, it's a Roadrunner. He's not going to make it. And he didn't.
He didn't make it. Dude, I almost hit a turkey the other day.
Oh, wow.
Like, I swear to God, like, it had been a week of just things running out in front of me. I had 2 birds with a family of babies run out in front of me.
Gosh.
And I had to, like, stop for all of them.
Or is it quail?
No, they weren't quail.
No, it wasn't quail.
Because it was in the middle of, if they were quail, it's crazy because it was in the middle of a neighborhood and it wasn't like out in the middle of nowhere. It was in Alamogordo.
Oh.
And then I had a couple deer, which I'm used to. And out of nowhere, just a freaking giant ass turkey runs out in front of me. I was like, what the shit is going on this week?
Turkeys.
It was a big ass turkey. I was like, whoa. Turkeys are jerks. Turkey jerkies?
Turkey jerky.
That's terrible puns.
I don't like it.
We're bad at puns.
I don't like turkey jerky. Do you like turkey jerky?
You
like turkey bacon? You've been like on a health food kick. Do you like turkey bacon?
I don't.
You haven't tried it?
I'm not. That's the thing. Is you say I'm on a health food kick.
You're not anymore?
I am, but I don't eat lean.
Ah.
The way the diet is we eat fat. A lot of fatty stuff because you train your body to start eating or burning the fat instead. So, no, I don't eat turkey. I've tried some turkey jerky. I don't like it.
Turkey bacon?
Yeah, no turkey
burger?
Fuck that. No. So my daughter the other day, I handed her.
Bison burger?
I have.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
We just had
brisket. That's high in fat.
It is. We had brisket burgers for dinner.
Nice.
And it was just ground up brisket. It was really damn good. It wasn't pizza. Normally you're only all in when it's time for pizza. Yeah. So
Thursday nights used to be your pizza nights. Just saying.
You can see your reflection.
Did they not do the? Did they not do?
I'm reading the chat.
Who said that? Some random? Some random?
Walmart brand Steve Austin. That is me. I am the Walmart brand Steve Austin. No, more like Kmart brand Steve Austin. Shitheads, get it right.
Hilarious.
Chug a beer if you wear.
Jug a beer if you wear 316. No, I'm not. I'm not wearing it. I'm wearing a Joey Ryan t-shirt.
Hey, dong style.
Testicular strength. King of dong style.
He had a tweet the other day that made me laugh. I just don't remember what it was.
Well, apparently, did you know that Izzy
is wrestling?
She took up like her first major
one match.
Like, choke slam
bump. She said she's not going to take another.
Yeah, because everybody's giving them crap about it, and
because she's 11 or 12.
But then Joey Ryan came through like her defense and was just like, to be honest, guys, like we all like to pretend that pro wrestling isn't a professional sport till it's inconvenient, but we were all playing contact sports when we were 12.
You know what I think is great, and I thought about this because we bought the kids a trampoline.
And at first I was kind of like worried. I was like, oh, Izzy shouldn't be doing that. But then like Joey Ryan kind of makes sense.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's funny to me because, like I said, we built.
Yeah, we have. We talked about it right before the show started.
So yeah, no, that's awesome. No, we set up the trampoline for the kids, and I was talking about like, hey, if I set this trampoline up, you guys are going to have to become professional wrestlers. And I started thinking about it because they run the whole like "don't do this at home" video before everything. But every documentary they're airing now, like the Seth Rollins documentary, Kevin Owens and stuff like that, every documentary when they're interviewing somebody about how they got started, it's like, well, yeah, I started a federation in my backyard with a trampoline. But before that runs, it's all, don't try this at home.
Don't try this at home.
It's so redundant.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
Well, the Hardys, that's how they were all backyard wrestling. Yeah, everybody was.
It's just so
well, I mean, ridiculous. And I think the wrestlers, especially now that grew up watching the Attitude Era, I mean, yeah, they were all backyard wrestlers.
Yeah, exactly. Remember our shitty attempt at trying to build a ring in my backyard with pallets and tires and stuff?
Remember when we
just gave up and never did anything with it?
Remember we did a wrestling school, but we're using like an old beat up boxing ring?
Boxing ring.
And
we took bumps on a boxing ring with no give.
Oh. I just remember like all the staph infections.
Remember when that dude Leo blew out his knees because he went to we couldn't stand on the top rope, so we had a giant ladder, and he went to the ladder and he was going to do a coup de grace. That he was like double foot stomp off the top.
Yeah, this was before we knew what a double foot stomp coup de grace was. We just thought it was.
He goes to do it, and in the middle of it, I was like, "Fuck no!" And I rolled out of the way, but he locked his knees before he hit the ground.
He didn't bend them.
Oh, it was so.
I wasn't there for that night, but I was there the week after, and he was like laid up.
You remember when TJ got his concussion?
Yeah, that was great.
And basketball! He was silent for like 23 minutes.
And we just looked at each other like, should we stop?
We just let him go. Fuck him.
Should we stop?
Fuck him. I keep every time DWO, Destiny Wrestling Organization in Albuquerque, asks their dream match, I always say Hobo Hank and Johnny Timberlake. And Hobo Hank himself goes and likes it every time I post it. And then he had like 4 of his friends go like it too.
He liked a random tweet of mine one time. I just thought it was really funny. I didn't even tag him in it.
But you weren't talking about the time.
It wasn't even about wrestling.
The guy's character was was a hobo. And Matt snuck him $1 and a handshake.
Right here.
Yep, it does.
You know who's still following the smart marks on Instagram is Sammy Callahan.
Yeah, that's
and
great.
He just randomly liked a picture that I did of the revival.
Really?
Yeah, it just says the official Sammy Callahan.
So did you see Bully Ray challenge Sammy Callahan?
No.
They've had a back and forth for quite a while.
They've gone back at it, right?
And I guess they had a show in New York. I can't remember the name of the show, but they had a show in New York, and Bully Ray showed up unannounced. The promoter wasn't even aware of it.
Yeah.
And Bully Ray sat out in his truck, and he had someone inside tell him when Sammy Callahan's match was done. And he went out there and jumped the guardrail and got in Sammy Callahan's face, and then left and never said anything to the booker. And the booker caught him backstage or on his way out in the parking lot. Bully was already in his truck about to leave, and the booker caught him, and he's like, "Hey, what was that all about?" And he's like, "The guy was talking shit. I came to talk shit to him." Yeah. And he's like, "Okay, well, what do I got to do to make this match between the two of you happen? You give me $1 amount." And Bully Ray's like, "You can't afford me," and gave him $1 amount. And the guy's like, "Okay, I can't afford you. We'll see you in a month." So they booked a match between Sammy Callahan and Bully Ray coming up. I was like, "Holy shit!" He's like, "The guy called my bluff, and it was something I could afford. I wanted, so we're doing it."
That's gonna be cool.
Like, that's cool as shit. So the reason why we're here this week, our topic this week, after we're done talking about all our nerdy shit, I did start a new game that's absolutely weird and terrible, called
I'm gonna move that so I can see chat.
Graveyard Keeper.
You're good. You don't have to move right to me.
No, you're fine. Sure. Graveyard Keeper, and it's basically like Stardew Valley, one of those games where you like build your crops and take care of them, stuff like that.
Is it like Undertaker farming simulator?
Kind of.
Undertaker farming simulator.
You're a guy who, it's weird because you're a guy who, he's driving home and he gets a text message from his wife, and he looks down at the phone and gets in a car wreck and dies. But they like transport him to this other like old school,
don't text and drive,
old timey world.
Yeah. And
he has to work as the graveyard keeper and work his way back up to like find this portal inside the clergy to get back. So it's like literally right now I'm cutting down trees. To get back
to alive?
Yeah, to get back to his real world. But like right now I'm like cutting down trees and stuff like that to build wooden crosses for these graves and stuff. And it's funny. So like they bring you the body and you have like you take it into the morgue and you can cut meat out of the body.
Yeah.
And then you can get a conned seal. So in order to sell any meat in the town, you have to have a seal from the government that says that it's like a USDA.
Oh, okay.
Seal. So I went and met a guy, and he gave me a false seal. So now I can cut meat from the corpses, stamp it, and go sell the corpse meat at the town and the village. So they're eating human flesh and don't know it. And then at one point, this ghost comes to you, and he's like, "Hey, the guy in the bottom right grave is kind of a dick, and he treats us all like shit. So we need you to do something about that." So I had to go dig up the guy's body and throw him in the river, so he wouldn't bother the other ghosts. And then as soon as you throw him in the river, like someone's like, "Hey, that's going to wash up at the town, so maybe you should burn them next time.
Oh,
so now I've got to work to building a crematorium so I can start getting rid of the bodies.
That's a good game. That's like that's an interesting concept.
Interesting.
I think that
really, and it's old school. It looks like old Final Fantasy or Legend of Zelda games.
They don't have like any funeral home simulators, I guess. Right?
They don't, right? So
that sounds like a good.
I
game.
would play it though.
Only
if you got to play, and the voice was Paul Bear. Yeah. Wow. And then that's all you hear. Like that's all he says.
Anytime there's a new body.
Yeah. Wow. Undertaker. Like when he's trying to get your attention that there's something you need to do. It's going to be like, did you ever play Ocarina of Time?
Yes.
And you play through, and I can't even remember her name, like the little fairy that would try to get you. Listen. And that's all she would say. It's just like that. It's just every time he's trying to get your attention to tell you that there's something to do, he's all, Undertaker. But yeah, I've been playing. It was free on Game Pass, and it came out this week, and I downloaded it. And
so that Game Pass is definitely
every night I've been playing it.
How much is Game Pass a month?
$9 a month.
That's not bad.
They'll run deals where it's like $30 for a year.
Game Pass on top of your Xbox Live?
Mm-hmm. It's an additional charge. That's why I had to cut back somewhere, so I cut back PlayStation Plus.
I think what you need to do. I'm looking over here. You got your Proton Pack.
Proton Pack.
You need to hang that up on the wall, man.
I do.
You need to get that mounted.
No, I need to mount it once I get the light up one, and then we can turn it on. Because that one doesn't light up.
Put some LEDs on it. It'll be fine.
It's all rubber. The whole thing's
come
rubber.
on. Nobody knows.
I want to go all out. I want the vacuum pressed one with the LED board and everything in it.
Well, you want to go all out, but let's talk about all in.
All in. Hey-yo. Segue. So that is why we're here. It is a wrestling episode. This week is All In. All In is historic. I mean, for a number of reasons. So just a little bit of backstory. It's set up by the Young Bucks and Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes' father, Dusty, was a creator of StarCast. StarCast was his idea. He helped get StarCast off the ground. I'm saying StarCast. Starcade. He helped get Starcade off the ground. Matt's freaking out over something on his phone. It's a dick pic, isn't it? From Joey Ryan.
My niece, she lives in Amarillo. We stayed there like a month back.
Yeah.
I lost my headphones.
She found them?
And so she found them the other day. And then I had like this amazing like microfiber glass cleaner that I absolutely loved, and she just found it. So.
Nice. That's why you were so excited.
I was like, I've been using this crappy one that I have to wash over and over. See if I even have it. I don't even have it because I put my jeans on. I don't ever wear jeans.
Wearing jeans.
Oh, no, here they are. Yeah. I've been using this one. This like Walmart one. So
it's good because you got the Walmart Stone Cold here. So
yeah.
But anyways, Cody's dad, Dusty Rhodes, who held my wife as a baby, throw that out there again. He created Starcade, which ended up being a big event for WCW.
Starcast, but I was like,
which ended up being a big event for WCW down the road.
That was like WCW's WrestleMania.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And Dusty kind of followed in his dad, or Cody followed in his dad's footsteps, and they got together. What happened is a pro wrestling journalist by the name of Dave Douchebag Meltzer basically said that he didn't believe that Cody Rhodes or the Young Bucks, those guys couldn't sell out a 10,000-seat arena.
That they could sell out a 10,000-seat arena.
No, he didn't believe they could.
That's what he said.
All right, did I say couldn't?
Yeah.
Anyways, I know.
Oh my God, we lost.
Oh, we're back.
We're back.
But he didn't believe that they could sell out a 10,000-seat arena. So they took it as not even challenge. That they were offended. They just took it as a challenge and said, let's see what we can do. So they set up arena in Chicago. What arena is it? Do you know?
Rosemont.
The Rosemont Arena in Chicago.
It's a beautiful arena. I stayed right next to it a couple years back.
Within
Chicago.
30 minutes, they sold it out with no matches announced.
Oh, yeah.
No nothing. They sold it out.
They sold it out
coming this weekend.
With the idea of people, first just with Cody and Young Bucks even in the title.
Right, exactly. And it's historic because nobody thought that, a couple guys, because they funded it on their own.
Yeah.
It's not that, WWE or Sinclair Broadcasting or anybody stepped
Sinclair.
up. And what's funny is everyone talks about WWE being a powerhouse, and any day Sinclair could flip a switch on Ring of Honor and make them rival the WWE.
Yeah.
Sinclair,
they're just too focused on pushing their conservative right-wing propaganda down everybody's throats.
They're super billionaires.
Yeah.
They've got more money than Vince McMahon could ever dream about having. So if they ever wanted to rival Vince, they could in a heartbeat. But they own Ring of Honor, or they have stake in Ring of Honor. So
I like stakes.
They're not helping All In. No one did this other than Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, and Cody Rhodes. They put their personal money up for this show, and it airs this weekend.
That's why it's called All In.
And then even on top of that, normally when you have these big events, like with the Super Bowl, you've got like Radio Row, and you've got all the radio hosts. Every radio show is down on Radio Row broadcasting before the Super Bowl. You've got events where you can go in and see, like they'll have like tours of the stadiums and stuff like that before. With WrestleMania, they've got fan access where you can go meet wrestlers and do that kind of stuff before WrestleMania. But with All In, they even have one called StarCast. And it's a giant, like there's panels that started yesterday, started on Thursday. Or no, today. No, they started Wednesday, didn't they?
Today.
They did start Thursday? Yeah. I thought they started yesterday for some reason. So they started today on Thursday, and they're running through the weekend. They've got panels. They've got meet and greets with like the NWO. I know Bully Ray is there. I know there's a panel. The Death of WCW panel is going to be happening.
Any popular wrestling podcast is going to be there.
Exactly.
Any person popular in doing any sort of wrestling media is going to be there.
Exactly. And it's just a huge... They've turned it into a
big
event.
Marks would have been there.
Yeah, they would have. No. But you know what? Maybe one day GOFO shows up at Podcast Movement.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
I think we need to go to Podcast Movement next year.
Hell yeah.
But anyways, it's a big deal. And there's a lot of people involved. And Matt and I, it's all we've been really talking about all week. And we felt that it's so significant and such a big deal that we felt like it was something we needed to have as a topic this week.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll do something a little bit different at the end of the show. We're going to give you 3 choices for topics for our next show. We wanted to bring up All In, and we also teased that we were going to talk our top 5 wrestlers. Yeah. So our top 5 favorite wrestlers of all time. Matt's versus mine. So we'll go through that.
All time.
For wrestling fans, this is where you're going to enjoy everything that we're saying. If you're not too much wrestling fans, then
skip forward 10 minutes.
You know what? Skip forward 10 minutes. Listen to it. Maybe watch All In. Take a chance.
Skip forward 10 minutes.
If anything's going to pull you into wrestling, it's this. This is
probably
going to be. There's going to be. It's not as much story. There's not a lot of story heavy stuff in here. Now there is some story on 1 or 2 of the matches that makes sense, but
you're not making sense right now.
Really? Nick Aldis versus Cody Rhodes.
That's got some story with the NWA heavyweight title. That's the one that probably has the most story to it.
Exactly. But it's going to be great. Yeah. This is something that would pull you in if you're a casual wrestling fan, if you just know of wrestling, like even if you could find videos of this on the internet on YouTube or something later, like
watch
the Young Bucks. I know like a lot of people don't even go up to them and talk to them about their matches anymore. They go up to them and go like, I love your YouTube show. I love being the elite. And they've kind of transcended wrestling almost.
Yeah.
They're without going to like movie stardom. They're just famous.
Yeah. People know them now.
So we'll run through the matches here so you can kind of know who's wrestling. We've got Kenny Omega versus Pentagon Jr. in a singles match.
Hey, do me a big favor.
Yo.
Go to that mail icon on your screen. Right click on it. Unpin from taskbar.
Is it seriously bugging you that bad?
Yes, I hate that.
Jesus. Anyways.
It's not even my computer.
Kenny Omega versus Pentagon Jr.
I did not build that system so you could run that crappy program.
Shut up. Jay Lethal will face, though. Jay Lethal's a champion. He will defend his title against the winner of the Over the Budget.
In bold prediction here, Jay Lethal loses that title.
You think so? Yeah. All In?
Because of his whole issue with Taylor Hendricks.
Yeah.
And now she has proof of his sexual harassment.
So they're going to be pulling
which sucks, but the title's going to be changing. And that sucks for Jay Lethal because he's a Chicago native.
Yep, exactly. But he'll defend that title against the winner of the Over the Budget Battle Royal.
He'll get a good pop there, but
Madison Rayne versus Britt Baker versus Chelsea Green and Tessa Blanchard.
Madison Rayne is amazing. Britt Baker is a dental hygienist and a wrestler. She's amazing. Chelsea Green, you may know her as Laurel Van Ness if you watch Impact Wrestling.
Or
Zack Ryder's girlfriend in his Instagram stories. And today was unofficially Chelsea Green Day, as according to
Zack
Ryder.
Really?
Yeah. And Tessa Blanchard, who is, I think, the current Impact Women's Champion.
She is. Daughter of Tully Blanchard.
The daughter of Tully Blanchard, yeah.
And then, of course, the Over the Budget Battle Royal. I know that there's some guys.
It's down there, yeah. You have it down there at the bottom.
Does it show down here? So announced. Jordan Grace. Did you see that?
Yeah.
That's so great. I hope she wins.
Yeah.
How great would it be if she won?
That'd be cool to even see her.
And then beat Jay Lethal.
That'd be great. I mean, it's not going to happen. She can't beat Jay Lethal, but.
She, what is she, God, what does she call herself?
Silence.
It's not. It's like Big Papa Pump, but she's got a nickname for herself along the lines of Big Papa Pump. We'll have to find it.
Yeah.
It's like Thick Mama Pump or something like that. I can't remember what it is. Moose, Rocky Romero, Colt Cabana, Ethan Page, Brian Cage, Billy Gunn, Jimmy Jacobs, Marco Stunt, Brandon Coulter, and Punishment Martinez.
Punishment Martinez is winning that.
I'm sure you're going to get some surprises in there. That's not going to be your whole battle royal.
I think Punishment Martinez, is he still not the current?
I feel like
TV
if Neville
champion?
shows up, that's going to be where he shows up, is in that battle royal. I expected that would be a perfect place to have one Chicago native, Phil Jack Brooks, known as CM Punk, show up until he got sued by CM Punk or by Colt Cabana. So that's probably not happening.
That's still happening? That's still going on, right?
Yeah, it's still going down. The Briscoe brothers, Jay Briscoe and Mark Briscoe, will face SoCal Uncensored. The members from SoCal are going to be Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Sky, because Christopher Daniels will be facing actor Stephen Amell. Stephen Amell from Arrow will be facing Christopher Daniels. I am so jazzed for that match. And what many believe is going to be the main event is Rey Mysterio, Phoenix, and Bandito versus the Golden Elite, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, who are the Young Bucks, and Kota Ibushi from New Japan.
Oh, God, I'm so sorry.
That's going to be a hell of a
long
match.
day. Yeah.
That's going to be one hell of a match. Jody Janela with Penelope Ford will face Hangman Page. Joey Janela is absolutely great to watch. Yeah. He is so much fun to watch. That match is going to be great. I ran a poll earlier in the week asking what members of the Bullet Club, and I ran this on the Smart Marks, what members of the Bullet Club you would want to see in WWE. Your vote was Hangman Page.
Yeah, it was.
I like that vote. Mine was Marty Scurll, mainly for the entrance. Mm-hmm. We'll also end up with
Marty Scurll versus
Kazuchika Okada versus Marty Scurll, which is going to be a hell of a match.
Did you see that cartoon he shared, like that little drawing?
No.
Marty did. He had, so Marty's gimmick is the umbrella.
Yeah.
So he had the umbrella, and what he used an umbrella to do, block the rain.
What is Rainmaker, Okada.
Yeah, so he had to like pushed up against Okada, like blocking Okada.
That's so good.
It's cute, yeah. And you can tell he drew it.
And what should be the main event, Nick Aldis defending his NWA World Heavyweight Championship.
Man, you left off Kenny Omega versus Pentagon Jr.
I brought that up at the very beginning.
Did you?
Yeah, I brought that up. Nick Aldis defending his NWA World Heavyweight Championship against Cody Rhodes. Yeah. The big thing and the big storyline here is that NWA
Billy Corgan will be in attendance.
No, he will not.
It's in Chicago.
He will not. He is booked. The Smashing Pumpkins are booked for a show in Seattle.
Oh my gosh!
Because they were talking about it on the radio today, and they're like, if he can make it happen, how much money you want to bet that Billy Corgan has TV on stage, and while he's like playing Zero, he's looking down watching the title match.
What if Cody wins the title and then he just goes, "The world is a vampire"?
He probably would. Remember when he first took over TNA and EC3 went out there making a bunch of? He's like, "What do you think this is? 1979?"
Speaking of vampires, did you see Vampiro or hear Vampiro?
And he tweeted back to you?
Yeah, he just said it wasn't him, but it was so obvious.
I wanted to message back. Yeah. I wanted to take a screenshot of that and put in my own closed captioning with intense farting in background.
He never like even so. Either he farted and it was picked up so audibly loud on the microphone, or somebody by him farted near his microphone, which means that would have been butt to mouth, human centipede, right into the microphone.
It was loud.
And
it was great. He replied back to you.
He didn't say anything. Like, I go, "Are you blaming it on Stryker?" And he never wrote back.
Yep. That's so great. Yeah. But the story there is Cody's dad held the NWA championship. And they've never had a father-son duo champion that held it. So this is big for him.
Has there ever been father-son champions just in general?
I don't
in WWE.
Did The Rock's dad ever hold the title?
Rocky Johnson never held a world title.
So I don't think
and Bob Orton never held the world title.
No.
So that's just the thing.
Mr. Perfect.
He never won.
He never held.
He never won the title.
Damn sure.
He only had the Intercontinental Championship.
Did Bray Wyatt ever hold one? Because I don't think IRS
didn't
either.
Well, Bray Wyatt did win the world.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. He did. So I don't see where.
If I'm wrong, you guys hit us back.
Yeah, make sure to send us corrections. I don't think anybody ever has had.
I don't think it's ever been father-son.
Huh? I'm gonna have to look that up.
Who wrote that?
I don't know.
Sorry.
SS Law 2. Hello. Or no, it's Shaw 2. I'm blind. Bald head hype. That's right, son.
I'm getting there.
You're working on it. I just gave it a long ass time ago. So our top 5. You want to talk our top 5
wrestlers?
You want to go through each one of us? Go 5. Your 5, my 5, or do you want to read your?
Let's do
top
5. Let's just do. We'll start off
number 5. You read yours. I read mine.
Yeah.
Go for it. Who's your number 5?
Who's my number?
I'm winging this. I didn't know
5. Sting.
Sting
is my number 5 wrestler because I wasn't really into wrestling in, I think, 97, 98.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of fell off right before the Attitude Era kicked in, like full blown. And Sting, seeing like Crow Sting, like that was pretty cool. Part of like seeing the NWO. I mean, I was a big mark for NWO, but I don't think any of the NWO wrestlers themselves during their time in the NWO was necessarily my favorite wrestler. But Sting was cool because when I started watching, I think he had just kicked off the Crow era, and I literally watched a year of WCW before I even saw Sting wrestle. But just the idea of like that Sting character was pretty awesome. So I give him number 5. So
that's when you kind of picked up, wasn't it?
That's when it picked back up. As a kid, I watched it a lot because my grandma would always watch. I'd spend the night at my grandma's house when I was little. And so I'd watch Saturday morning Slam.
And see, like, I doubt it was here. I keep thinking that it was here for some reason. But when I first moved here at 7, there was a flyer at one of the grocery stores for a WCW event, and they were advertising Sting. Yeah. And I remember wanting to go so bad because I wanted to see Sting. And it was probably like in Albuquerque or something. Yeah. But in my memory, I'm like, oh, it was at the Roswell High Gym. It was here. Yeah. And but again, it was probably somewhere else. But I remember wanting to see him so bad. And then I had another opportunity when I was 19 and I was training in wrestling. We friend of mine, a friend of ours, TJ, got us involved in. There was a show that was happening. Right. There was a show that was happening at the Roswell High Gym here, and it was showing. It was a church show, and it was being a church show. Buff Bagwell was there.
I was going to say Buff Bagwell.
Buff Bagwell, the Road Warriors. And this was before
and Ted DiBiase.
And it was before Hawk passed. It was Hawk that passed away, right? Or was it Animal? It was Hawk that passed away, right?
Hawk, I believe.
Anyways, before one of them passed away, and Ted DiBiase and Sting. Yeah. So I was all in for it. TJ worked as a referee. I worked camera work for this. I get there.
I didn't even know that.
And Sting was double booked. Oh. He had a show in Finland. And he took the show in Finland instead because it paid more, obviously. But we got to meet the Road Warriors. We got to meet DiBiase. We got to meet Buff. The guys that were training us, Biggie Styles and JC Hendricks, worked that show as well. They came down from came up from Las Cruces, and they worked that show.
That's awesome.
I think JC got to work. No, they got to work. I think they both worked because they were a tag team. They were the Styles brothers, and they worked against
AJ Styles,
the Road Warriors, AJ Styles. But I did camera work for them, and I stood up in the rafters. And
man, it must have been a shaky camera work.
But, yeah, right. But it sucked so bad because those are the two things.
Like Sting, your camera work.
Sting was always one of my favorites for the longest time. I have a
picture of Maria Kanellis, and it just looks like I'm standing next to a spirit.
I know, right? So sorry. And then you couldn't keep your autograph photo. Your wife wasn't having any of that.
I'll give it to you.
Yeah, I know.
I can't blame her.
I don't even know where that one is. Mine's up on the wall.
Yeah. $25.
Yeah.
Who's your number 5?
My number 5.
Tori Wilson.
David Arquette. My number 5 is Chris Jericho.
Okay, yeah.
I am a huge Chris Jericho fan. I have always been. He's probably one of the best heels, and he's a guy that has reinvented himself every year. It seems like. I mean, there's
every incarnation,
so many
wherever he goes,
different variations. It's not even necessarily where he goes. When he leaves WWE for a while and he comes back as a different type. Like he changes it.
It's always
I've
good.
Got the scarf now. Yeah. I came back.
The light-up jacket.
Yeah, the light-up jacket. Like he always adds something to it, and he's just constantly evolving.
And it's so much more than just like a costume element. It's a character trait that he.
Yeah. Well, remember when he came back and he was wearing like the jacket with no shirt underneath, and it wasn't even the light-up jacket really. Yeah. And he was just a dick. Yeah. He was such a suave.
He started like wearing like suits and to the ring and whatnot. Yeah.
And then now, like I like what he's doing in New Japan. He's completely reinvented himself. He doesn't do the light up jacket, and because that's a pop.
I think it's more of his early '90s based character.
He shows up with black makeup. He looks like he wore a bowler hat to the ring. He looked like Clockwork Orange. Yeah. He's just intense. And he said where he got that makeup from is he showed up and he was wearing a mask. It was one of the New Japan wrestlers that wears a mask. And he's like, I don't mean to be racist here. He's like, but my eyes are a lot bigger than his. He's like, so I painted a bunch of black makeup around my eyes so they couldn't really tell. So that way, when I was sitting in the crowd, they thought it was legit him until I took the mask off.
Yeah. That's when he attacked Naito.
Yeah, it was when he attacked Naito. Awesome. What do you think about Naito winning the G1?
Oh yeah, he beat Tanahashi. I thought that's awesome.
That was good.
Yeah, I didn't think Tanahashi was going to hold on to that. Just because he's like the John Cena of New Japan. And it's kind of just like John Cena winning the Money in the Bank.
Shaw 2 says there number 5 is The Rock, 4 is Hogan, 3 is Triple H, 2 Mark Henry, and number 1 Rey Mysterio.
I like Mark Henry at number 2. That's interesting. That's an interesting pick.
It was funny because I was listening to Busted Open, and Mark Henry is a host on Tuesdays on that show, and someone had called in and they asked, they're like, when is the WWE going to finally have a black champion? And they were debating. They were trying to figure out like, well, who has been a black champion? I was tweeting them like frantically. I was like, Mark Henry was a fucking champion. Yeah. He was your world champion, and he's a host on your show. And they never even brought him up. They're like, well, Booker T was champion. Yeah. I'm like, you fucking idiots. Mark Henry he's a host on your show. You guys should know this. Like, it bothered me so bad. I'm like, you guys are not true friends. Like, that's you don't know his
resume,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bold. I like having Mark Henry on your list because Mark Henry he's been around there forever.
Yeah.
And listening to some of these podcasts, like with Bruce Pritchard and stuff, when they're talking about some of the old school stuff, and you realize that Mark Henry was there during that time, like Nation of Domination, Mark Henry was there. Like, god damn, like he's been around so long.
Yeah.
But yeah, my number 5 is I've got Chris Jericho. Who's your number 4?
CM Punk.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're gonna put CM Punk on that?
I'm putting CM Punk 4 because he really got me back into wrestling. Like, there was a moment there when I think we hit, what was the era after Attitude Era? Like, Ruthless Aggression.
Yeah.
It kind of started to wear on me.
2010.
Yeah, and it was just kind of
Miz era.
Yeah, it was just like, I wasn't as into it. There was like, I mean, there's a lot from that time where I kind of just faded out, especially like right after, I think like when ECW was like just started. But then I started just tuning back. Like I would watch ECW on Sci-Fi, which was just, wasn't as great as the original ECW. But I remember seeing promos for CM Punk debuting, and I was just like, I'd seen this CM Punk before, and I just couldn't like put it together. And I was like, oh yeah, I've watched random Ring of Honor matches on the internet, and I was like, oh yeah, he's pretty good. He's a pretty good wrestler. And so just like Punk coming in, doing his straight edge society stuff, that was totally different. Like being like, that Messiah type character, which I thought was hilarious. Like running a cult. He was running a cult just based on straight edge society. I thought that was awesome. And that was kind of like something that I don't drink or smoke or do drugs or do any of those.
So you latched on.
I totally latched onto. I was like, whoa, there's a guy that does all these things and he's kind of a badass in wrestling. Yeah. So yeah, that mainly because of that, and it got me into it. And then watching him, and even though he had a relatively short run compared to some of the other wrestlers, like his work before, and then like going back and watching his promos like on YouTube, like you just see how much of like an ass he is, which is insane. But he did good promo work. Yeah, he's just like a great heel.
Remember when it was that live show or something, and that guy was trash talking to him? He's like, "You are a vagina. You're a vagina." Just screaming in that guy's face.
Yeah, and so and then the Summer Punk stuff, I thought that was great. So he had a pretty good run. Yeah, he got pretty bitter towards the end, and he's probably not one of my favorite people. But if I put people who are influential to me as far as wrestlers, I have to put him in my top 5.
And it's hard for me
because to me, there would have been no Smart Marks podcast without CM Punk for me to talk about. So,
for me, and that's why I was so surprised CM Punk is my number 4 as well.
Cool.
I couldn't put him higher.
Yeah. I can't.
And
either,
I love Jericho. I wanted to put him at 5, but for kind of the same reasons, I felt like I needed to give kind of a nod. The guy was he brought me back in because I stopped watching wrestling for the longest time, and I started again when you had messaged me, and I think my wife and I had only been together a few months, like maybe 5-6 months. Yeah. And you had messaged me, and you're like, "Hey, did you see The Rock's coming back from Mania?" And she's like, "I love The Rock." And I'm like, "You watch wrestling?" So it started that gap, and I remember. One of the first episodes we rewatched together was a Halloween episode, and you showed up at my house dressed as CM Punk. So I started watching more, and I knew of him from Ring of Honor and stuff, but I didn't get those I remember, a lot of guys talk about, the ECW tapes. We had to fight to get these underground ECW tapes, and they were there. We watched those. We had to get those physical. That was Ring of Honor for us for the longest time, is getting Ring of Honor DVDs, because it was before YouTube would feature stuff like this so heavily, or YouTube itself was such a big, huge thing. So we would have to get Ring of Honor DVDs. We watched American Dragon. We watched Christopher Daniels. We watched CM Punk. Yeah. That kind of stuff through Ring of Honor DVDs. And it was just, that's the way we did it. And I remembered seeing him from some of those DVDs and stuff like that. And
even seeing him in TNA at the time,
exactly.
part of Raven's flock.
So it was cool as hell that, it was something common that you and I latched onto.
Yeah.
We grew a little bit more as friends because of it. And then I watched the Best in the World DVD.
Well, that's still, I think, one of their best ones.
And there was a spot in there where he was talking tattoos and stuff. And this is what really hit me and got me to like him. Is the guy just didn't give a shit what other people thought. And for the longest time when I get tattoos and stuff, I was like, oh, I'm going to get this badass dragon. Or I'm going to get flames. I'm going to get cool stuff, like biker stuff. And then he's like, yeah, I got mint chocolate chip ice cream because I just needed filler and I like mint chocolate chip ice cream. So
I got a slice of pizza.
I got a slice of pizza. Like just random shit like that. And I was like, you know what? It's just why waste your energy on what anyone else thinks of you?
Yeah.
And I started changing a lot of the way I looked at things after that. And I know it's silly to be like, oh, a wrestler changed my mind on this kind of stuff, but he did. And it sucks that he's now so big of a piece of shit, kind of. And for his own reasons, you know what? If I was unhappy with the job, I would leave too. I support what he did. It's just, on the outs and the way things worked with him and Colt Cabana, that's more what makes me sour to him than him leaving the WWE. Because at the time it was, you know what? I've left jobs because I've been pissed off. I get it. If I'm unhappy, why stick around? If this isn't what you want to do and you don't have a passion for it, don't be here.
Even before, we knew he wouldn't go back to the WWE. And we're like, oh, maybe he'll come back to the Indies. But now it doesn't feel that way.
No, it doesn't. And that's fine. I'm happy with the time that I had. Yeah. And just because again, like you said, we wouldn't be here and we wouldn't be podcasting. There would be no GOFO. There would be no Smart Marks if we didn't bond together over watching CM Punk matches. Yeah. So with that, I feel like he deserves to be on the list.
Definitely.
You're number 3, sir.
Number 3 is The Rock.
The Rock?
Yeah. I have a feeling maybe ours are going to be kind of the same.
Maybe
but The Rock was really, really exciting to me. A lot of it was improv. You can kind of tell, and you watching him kick off his own kind of solo stuff.
Yeah,
I think you kind of like, holy crap, this dude's gonna be just the way he was in the ring before he went out to Hollywood, and then he had that short run too. He was really influential. Just you never had anybody to talk like that before,
right?
And I thought he was a huge change from it made me excited to watch Raw. I would watch Raw's War, and of course the Austin Rock feud was amazing, and it lasted years, and it was two of my favorites, just going over and over, and it's just. If that chat wouldn't existed, if it would have existed back then, that chat of fight forever would have been going on. Yeah, so definitely Rock number 3.
Triple H is my number 3.
Nice, yeah.
I've always been play the game. And here's a $2 slut for a wife. Is it The Rock that did that?
The Rock that did that.
I always loved Triple H. DX was a big thing, but what I liked a lot about Triple H in the later years is, especially with the game, he didn't change in the ring. When he was heel or he was face, he wrestled the same way. It was small things that he did that made you like or hate him, but he didn't have to go change a lot. This is who I am, and I'll do things outside of the ring to make you hate me, but this is me. And he found a way to work that heel style in the same guy. And I don't know. I've always latched on to Triple H. He's always been one of my favorites. Yeah. The guy's got an amazing mind for the business, obviously, with what he's doing with NXT. Someone brought it up on the radio today. They had asked about the Young Bucks coming to WWE and Kenny Omega coming into WWE and stuff like that. And they kept talking about how, that would not happen. They're probably better off staying where they are. So someone else called in and God forbid, I hate to say it like this, but if Vince McMahon was dead and Triple H was running the show, then do you think they would show up? And the radio hosts were like, absolutely, with Triple H and Road Dogg doing the booking, absolutely, it would be a good place for them to be. But
you don't remember
right now, no.
Nobody remembers the pipe bomb.
Oh yeah, doofus son-in-law. And when this play,
I like to think this place would get better when Vince McMahon dies.
Yep. But no, I've always kind of latched on to something with Triple H. I thought he was he's great as a face. He's fun as a face.
And his character,
he's an ultimate heel. He can work heel so well. He is when you say ring general and someone who's going to take over the match inside the ring, that's who you think of as Triple H. He's a guy that I don't think he could have a bad match with anybody.
I think he's maybe only had two gimmicks his entire life. It was the terrorizing and his first run as Hunter Hearst Helmsley were basically the same two guys. And then as soon as he turned 3, you
had Paul Levesque.
You throw your DX Triple H. It's different from the badass Triple H you get.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you get somebody who's been wrestling for, since like 1996.
I've never seen anybody else. I mean, like, he can have a great match with anybody.
Yeah.
Pedigree's a hell of a move.
Yeah.
I love, like, when you talk, because I saw somebody, I think WWE shared it the other day and asked who did the best spine buster. I think he even has a better spine buster than Arn Anderson.
Yeah.
And Arn Anderson pioneered, I mean, the Anderson Slam was they called it that because it was his spine buster. But the dude's just the shit, man.
Yeah.
Like, I like Triple H. He's my number 3. Who's your number 2?
Number 2, I'm just taking up the turret quad jokes from Kevin Nash.
Yes.
I heard somebody was defending Kevin Nash the other day, and like, I don't know why Kevin Nash gets all the torn quad jokes when he's only really torn his quad once. He's had knee injuries, but he's only torn his quad once, and it was just so visible in that one match. But Triple H has torn like both his quads 3 times.
Yep.
And nobody makes that jokes about him. Stone Cold Steve Austin's my number 2.
Your number 2?
Yeah.
Going to.
I think because it completely switched me over. Like when Austin 316 happened, getting Mike Tyson involved, seeing him go against Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 14 and WrestleMania 13, his match with Bret Hart, like that's my favorite match to this day. That's my go-to match. If somebody always asks, "What's your
Bret your number 1?"
No, hell no. Bret's in my top 10, but he's not in my top 5. But just that match in general, because it was such a bold move to kind of like, hey, we're gonna switch. Not only are these guys going to put on a show, but we're also going to switch at the end of this match.
Have a heel.
Bret's going to be heel, and Stone Cold's going to be babyface. And it's just the balls to pull it off. And, kudos to Austin, like, being, short and sweet on the mic, but he does what he does. And he's always been, it was very influential to me.
Crack one for the working man. He was a working man's wrestler.
I think my second T-shirt was an Austin 316 shirt, yeah.
Nice.
My first one was a DX, like the black and white Degeneration X one.
I need one of
and
those.
And then I had an Austin 316.
They had one at Hot Topic a while back.
The one with the blood on the back?
It was it was like a small. I was like, God damn it.
Yeah.
I'm going to Albuquerque this weekend, and I'm coming back with a Golden Elite T-shirt. I want one so bad. Not the one with like the shield looking one, but just the one that says Elite.
Elite. Yeah.
I want that one so bad. My number 2. God, this is so hard.
Ric Flair.
I feel like I've left one out.
Oh yeah, I mean you're only doing top 5, so we just do 2, yeah. So we just got.
It's so hard because I've got 3. And it's so hard for me to not put one of them in my top 5. Macho Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Undertaker's going to have to be my number 6.
Yeah.
I really wanted Undertaker in my top 5. But more influential to me, what got me watching as a kid, what kept me watching it. And I mean, what always came back to, Macho Man was a workhorse, man. He was great on the mic. You couldn't understand half of what he was saying. I mean, more than you could the Ultimate Warrior. But he was entertaining. I mean, I sent you guys a video in the group the other day of the Macho Man's Not Talking, where he was teaming with Sting.
Yeah.
And they're asking him, like, okay, so you're going to get your opponent. He's like, I'm not talking. And then that's all he would say. He kept coming back to the mic with me and Gene. But I loved Randy Savage.
Yeah.
And, I mean, probably my favorite match of all time. Like, you talked about Austin and Bret being your favorite match. It's funny because as kids, we watched WrestleMania, and it was Andre and Hogan.
Oh, yeah.
And it was Hogan and Warrior. But when you grow up, you look at Steamboat and Macho Man put on a hell of a WrestleMania match. And going back to that and watching that over and over again, granted, I know it was so amazing because they rehearsed it so many times in the back, and that's a lot of guys don't do that these days. That's just not how it works because wrestling has evolved.
Yeah.
But that match, I feel like a lot of people wrestle, and a lot of wrestlers these days, like AJ Styles type guys, Young Bucks type guys, can go back to that match and say that, that's a spot that I watched that match and that's what hit it for me.
Yeah.
It's just got to be Randy, man.
Yeah. Randy's your number 2.
I really wanted Undertaker number 2, but like I realized I had left Randy off, and I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
So
cool.
Yeah, man. May not be number 1 on your list, but I'm number 1 in your hearts. Yeah.
Well, don't worry, Randy, because you're number 1 on my list.
You're a son of a bitch, Jeremy. Yeah.
Randy, Macho Man is my number 1.
Yeah, you're number 1. Yeah.
Mainly because he's really what got me into wrestling. Growing up watching Saturday morning at my grandma's house.
I'm going to thrust in my hand when you talk about me. Yeah.
Renting all the videos from Blockbuster. The Macho King, watching Saturday Night Main Event watching him and Miss Elizabeth and him and Hogan like duke it out.
He's just one of those names that's synonymous with wrestling.
And the elbow drop was the first move I did as a kid.
Nice.
I would climb up on the couch and elbow drop my dad or a pile of pillows. And just because, to me, and that's what really got me into wrestling was the Macho Man. Hulk was fun to watch, but like Macho was, like you said, the workhorse.
Yep.
Macho was there all the time. And he put on great matches, you know.
Nice.
Hogan may have been like my first like actual WWF toy at the time, but like after that it was always like Macho. Like I loved Macho, you know, and I think I rented almost every video that had his face on it from WWF. I probably kept that Blockbuster in business for a while when they sell VHSs, but so. Definitely.
We'll when we're done, we'll go through a couple honorable mentions.
Yeah.
My number one is Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Stone Cold, same thing as you said. He brought me back in.
Reversed it.
WCW was when I started watching back again. It was WCW. It was Hogan and Sting, and I had a really hard time leaving Sting on here, but just getting to what meant more to me. These 5 guys meant more to me than. Unfortunately, I loved Sting, but there was a long period where we didn't have Sting, and then Sting went to TNA, and it wasn't as fun.
Yeah.
But Stone Cold, man. I had to have Stone Cold as number one. The Stone Cold Steve Austin character, the promo, the 316 promo.
Classic, yeah.
That kind of stuff is what brought me back over to WWF and what started getting me to turn back over. Seeing what he was doing with Vince McMahon. That's when I think Attitude Era, I don't think The Rock right away. I don't think Triple H. I think Austin.
Yeah.
Like if anything goes hand in hand with the Attitude Era, it's DX and Austin. And that era is what I hold on to. That's probably that, and leading into some of the like early Ruthless Aggression. Like that's probably my favorite time with wrestling, and that's when I had the most fun watching wrestling. Was that era? Ruthless Aggression. My honorable mentions. I had a hard time not putting Eddie Guerrero. On that list. I mean, especially being from around the area that we're from, being so close to El Paso. Eddie Guerrero means a lot to a lot of people. And the guy battled through demons and came back. And he's another workhorse. He's a guy that I would put into the same caliber as Macho Man. Like he's someone who goes out there and busts his ass. His character was amazing. The lie, cheat, and steal. It's one of my favorite spots ever. And I've done this in a match in a ring before. Is the chair. Hitting the chair, letting the ref think someone else did it. It's so overused now in the indies, but it's so funny. Eddie, believe it or not, Edge. I had a really hard time with Edge. Edge is probably like my 7. My original character was Edge. I mean, and I named him Rage. And funny enough, that's what Edge used to call himself. I just have memories with Edge. Like I remember him announcing his retirement. I teared up. I connected with Edge. I always thought that he was great. I went to a show in Albuquerque.
On this day,
hearing Edge's, do you think you know?
I'll see clearly.
I remember just so much adrenaline just piling up and being so excited. Awesome. No one else's entrance I have ever popped for as much as I popped for Edge's entrance live. And then the Undertaker. Just through the years, the biker Undertaker, believe it or not, I always was fond of. No, I think Ministry Undertaker is probably my favorite. All the stuff that he did with the Ministry of Darkness, it was wild. It was out there. I fucking, where to, Stephanie?
Sounded like Braun Strowman there.
Right? You're going to get these hands. What about you? You got some honorable mentions?
Rey Mysterio.
Yeah?
Because I didn't know somebody that small could wrestle in the ring.
Right?
I didn't know it was legal.
Oh my God. Watching that last Nitro, they had him without the mask and the stupid horns in his hair.
Oh, it was horrible. Yeah. Even Bischoff realizes he screwed up taking off his mask.
No, he doesn't, believe it or not. On that episode, he stood behind that. He's like, oh, no, never mind. He was being a smartass.
Yeah, he was being a smartass, yeah.
Oops.
But yeah, Rey Mysterio definitely was up there. Razor Ramon made wrestling fun. Like, he had some really hilarious, like, just promo work that he did. Like, I thought that were really funny. Mr. Perfect with all his, like, old school, like throwing the touchdown pass from one end of the end zone to the other end of the end zone.
To this day, though,
hitting the home run, like sinking 3-pointers.
You know how many times I spit out my gum and try to slap it away, like Mr. Perfect?
It's all Mr. Perfect, yeah.
Throw.
I'm pretty good at that. The trick is to not really spit it. The trick is just to let it fall out of your mouth
and then spit it,
and then hit it. Yeah. So try it next time. Just let it fall out of your mouth. Don't spit it. Just let it fall, and just like.
We're still talking wrestling and gum, right?
Double entendre.
Right.
But yeah, so yeah, definitely good times. Yeah. So,
good stuff, man.
Yeah, there's a lot more in there. Like Daniel Bryan, he got me really into the indie. Bryan Danielson on the indies. He got me really into indie wrestling. And then
AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, I always loved watching them in TNA.
Yeah, it was fun to watch them.
And the guy had a short career, Amazing Red. Like that's one when I think TNA and when I had fun watching TNA, it was that.
Yeah.
When you think like they shared a thing the other day, and it was when you see this X Division title, who do you think of? To me, it was Amazing Red.
Yeah.
It was always Amazing Red. We could go on and on.
Oh, definitely.
On and on. I mean, fuck, we could almost fill up another podcast. We have in the past. But God, man, it's fun to reminisce. That's probably one of my favorite things about wrestling is the nostalgia.
Yeah.
It's always fun to go back. Now, The Rock, I wanted to have him on there, but there was guys that just hit with me a little bit more.
They're better in the ring, yeah.
Not even necessarily like that, because The Rock's amazing in the ring too. The guy is a workhorse too. Flex Cavana, wasn't that his original name? Yeah. And then I couldn't have
Rocky die.
I'll give John Cena his credit, but he's just not one that I connected with.
Oh yeah, I mean, I
love Thugonomics Cena. I love what he's doing now. It's just he doesn't mean anything to me like the guys I listed.
Yeah, but I mean, like kids nowadays, John Cena's going to be there.
Yeah, I think we asked my son this question in 4 years.
Can't blame him for that.
And it'd be on there.
Yeah.
I'm almost tempted to call him in here right now. What's your top 5?
John Cena.
Do you remember? Okay, so I remember as soon as we said we're doing top 5 wrestlers, so my wife had this lamp made for me, and she had texted me. She said, "Who's your top 5 wrestlers?" And I replied with Elias. She was
like, they don't have them. Yeah.
She's like, she hates Elias.
Yeah.
She's just like, fuck you. She was so pissed off at that. So next episode, I kind of feel like I want to run with the top 5.
Yeah,
again, I think we're having fun with it. So
how about, are we going to do a poll?
We're going to do a poll.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to throw 3 options out there. Do you have an idea for an option?
I have an idea. 4. I have an idea as an option.
Let's hear it.
Pretty funny. Top 5 favorite movies as a kid that don't
hold up.
As an adult.
Like
now that you're an adult.
So top 5 movies that don't hold up as an adult.
Yeah.
I'd also say we've thrown this out here before. Top 5 fan theories.
Oops, sorry guys. Yeah.
Top 5 movie fan theories. Let's also say I had this all planned out. Now I can't remember any of them.
Should have wrote it down, buddy.
Let's run our top 5 video game series. Since this is geeks as well, and let's come up with one more. I threw out 2. You throw out one more.
Those are your ideas.
Top 5 porn stars.
I don't know if I think all my ones are dead.
Oh, yeah. That's sad when all your favorite wrestlers are gone and all your favorite porn stars are gone.
I don't know what's another good one. It's so hard, like to say like comics and stuff, but I don't want to do that. Top 5 kid TV shows. I don't know. I'll think about it. Yeah. Top 5 wrestlers.
Top 5 kid TV shows. Yeah. Top 5 sitcoms. You want to do sitcoms?
We're
both into sitcoms.
Yeah, let's do sitcoms. Yeah, top 5 sitcoms.
So, Seinfeld's number 1.
We're gonna
throw people. You're gonna have Seinfeld number 1.
Seinfeld's already number 1, you guys. But it'd be fun to hear my other 4.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, top 5 sitcoms. Top 5 movies that you loved as a kid that don't hold up as an adult.
I think that's a good one. One should. That's the one I want to win.
Oh, listen to you. Top 5 favorite
unbiased at all.
Fan theories, movie or TV fan theories, and our top 5 video game series. Yeah, video game franchises.
Put it up there.
Cool. So there it is. We'll run that. I'll actually have that pull up tonight, so that way we'll have a full couple weeks to vote on that. We'll give it a week, so that way we have a week to prepare for the show.
Yeah.
So we'll also get some information on Extra Life up and running, so that way you guys can know where to donate, know how to support if you're interested in streaming for GoFo Podcast. We're definitely down.
We don't take any money away from you guys. If you guys just want to be part of the team, we'll just throw you on our team page.
Yeah, because all we do when we add you to the team page is we work as a goal or as a team to hit a team goal. So that's something we'll definitely work with. If you guys are interested, make sure you can hit us up on Twitter, or you can send us an email at gofoquestions@gmail.com or gofoquestions@gmail.com.
GoFo Gmail.
The GoFo Gmail. We should get at gofo.com.
You can try.
We could try. Can we get at .wang? Can we get .wang as a domain? All right, guys, make sure to check us out. Like I said, on Twitter. Everything's on the Twitch. If you see it up there, at GoFo Podcast. You can get us on Twitter and Instagram there. Send us those emails if you have questions. 5-star reviews on everything. If you guys, let's start a contest. Matt, you brought up a great idea this week. Let's talk a little bit about that before we go.
What did I say?
Fantasy movie.
Oh yeah, fantasy movie league. So I play in the fantasy movie league. It's basically if you're into like fantasy sports, you can pick the same movie multiple times, just as long as you stay within a budget.
Even if you're not into fantasy sports, if you like the idea of the competition and don't understand football enough or anything like that.
I'm waiting for the new season to start, but when the new season starts, we'll start a league. Well, I'll go ahead and just start a league now, and people can join it. And so when the new season starts, which it actually starts, I think there's 4 seasons. So within a year, so every 3 months it starts up.
So how do you play?
You just pick. You get to pick. You have 8 screens. You can pick up to 8 movies. You can actually, theaters. You have 8 theaters, and you can actually pick the same movie more than once, just as long as you stay within your $1,000 budget. So, and
each movie costs a certain amount.
Each movie costs a certain amount. So, like if the Avengers were coming out, of course that one's going to cost more to put that in your theaters because it's a blockbuster. It's going to do well. So your main goal is to actually find movies that aren't expected to perform well but do well. So like Crazy Rich Asians, I think there's a movie that just came out. That one like killed it.
You could have bought it for cheap.
You could have bought it for cheap, and it just performed like insane. And you could filled up your whole screen in one, get a perfect like movieplex. Now, if you get perfect movieplexes on the actual fantasy movie league, you get thrown into their own contests on there. But what we can do for our league is actually every season have a winner and give that winner something cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. There you go.
I like that idea. We're doing it.
Yeah.
Matt is going to be streaming on Twitch this weekend. He's going to be streaming his fantasy football draft on his at
I'm going to try.
3.
Yeah.
He's going to try.
We'll
probably be getting together.
I have a wedding at 12 that day. Yeah, so I'm hoping it's not in town.
I'm going to be working.
I want to push it really close.
And All In is this weekend, so we'll probably be live tweeting All In. Yeah. You can see that on the Smart Marks Twitter really at @smart_marks.
Yeah.
So, guys, check us next time. Make sure to rate us. Take your ratings. If you are rating us 5 stars, if we're getting your 5-star ratings, not only are we going to shout them out and give you a read the review on the show, but we'll also enter you in for a drawing.
Yes, sir.
So you guys, I'm not going to start a drawing if there's only 2 people. You guys, let's get those ratings.
Yeah, we need a minimum.
Let's put a goal. Let's start with 100 5-star ratings.
I think we should do 20 first.
Okay. Thinking big here.
Yeah, let's do 20 first.
At 20 ratings, we'll take a drawing.
We'll do a drawing. Yeah.
All right, there we go.
Awesome.
You heard it. Thank you guys. We'll catch you guys next time.
Laters, geeks.
Nerds.
The Geek Out Freak Out podcast is produced and edited by Matt Salgado and Jeremy Holman. Special thanks to Rock My Bit for the theme song.